Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to the edge of AI advancements with the AI Frontiers report as our guide.
Yeah, this report really digs into some fascinating
It
stuff.
really does. Get ready for some seriously mind-blowing possibilities that we're going to be talking about today.
Exactly. We all see those headlines about AI,
Yeah,
but this report really goes deeper, and we are going to explore how these advancements could actually affect you, and maybe in ways you haven't even thought of.
I'm excited to get into it. So first up is quantum AI.
Oh, yeah.
I have to admit, when I first read about Google's Willow chip, I was a little lost, to be honest.
It is pretty complex stuff.
It is. But something about speeding up AI learning really caught my attention.
Yeah.
So can you break that down for me and for everyone listening?
Absolutely. So think about it this way. Current AI, it's like a chef who's trying to learn a new recipe.
Right.
It takes a lot of time, repetition, and lots of trial and error to get it just right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But quantum AI powered by chips like Willow, it's like you're giving that chef a superpower to instantly grasp every little nuance of the recipe. What might have taken years of training could now happen in minutes.
Okay, now I'm starting to see why this is such a big deal. It's not just about slightly faster processing. It's like you said, it's a fundamental shift in how AI learns
Yeah.
and how AI evolves.
Exactly. Just imagine the possibilities. We could see breakthroughs in medicine happening incredibly fast. Like, imagine climate models that can adapt in real time as new data comes in.
It's honestly hard to even wrap my head around it all.
Mhm.
But of course, quantum computing itself is still in its early stages, right?
Yeah, that's true.
There's still some pretty big technical challenges to figure out.
Right. Like, we have to deal with decoherence, which is basically how fragile quantum states are.
Oh, okay.
You can almost think of it like trying to build a house of cards in the middle of a windstorm. But, researchers are out there making real progress,
Yeah.
and the potential payoff is just massive.
That's what makes it so exciting. So it's exciting to think about what quantum AI might unlock in the future.
Mm.
And now let's shift gears a little bit to something a little more visual.
Okay.
OpenAI's Sora.
Oh, yes.
I actually saw a demo of this text-to-video tool, and honestly, I was just blown away.
Really?
It's incredible. It's like having a movie studio right in your pocket.
It is pretty amazing. Sora is definitely a game changer. Just imagine being able to create a video simply by describing what you want to see.
It's wild.
I know. It's like it could totally democratize video creation, making it possible for anyone to tell their stories visually, even if they've never picked up a camera before.
And that is so cool. It's like giving everyone the power to bring their imagination to life, right there on the screen. But with such a powerful tool, it makes you wonder, are there any concerns?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, what about the potential for misuse? Things like deep fakes and misinformation immediately come to mind.
That's a good point. It feels like a huge responsibility comes along with this tech.
You're exactly right. It is a big responsibility. It's absolutely crucial that we develop these tools responsibly and think about the ethical implications right from the start.
Definitely. So how do we verify if something is authentic?
Exactly.
Is this AI generated or is this real?
Mm,
How do we prevent misuse?
yeah.
But then at the same time, how do we encourage creativity and innovation? It's tricky.
Yeah. It's a tough balancing act. These are questions we absolutely have to grapple with.
Absolutely. And those questions become even more important as we get closer and closer to artificial general intelligence, or what we call AGI.
Right.
This is the kind of AI that we see in sci-fi movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Machines that are thinking and reasoning just like humans, and maybe even surpass us one day.
Well, yeah, precisely. I mean, true AGI is still a long way off,
Mm-hmm.
but we're seeing these advancements that suggest that it's not just pure science fiction anymore.
Right.
It's starting to feel within reach. And that brings up some really, really profound questions about, the future of humanity.
I remember reading in your notes that some experts are actually calling for a pause in AGI development.
Yeah.
So we can have time to establish ethical guidelines and safety protocols.
Yeah, there's a lot of debate about
I
that.
bet.
On the one hand, if we pause development,
Yeah.
we could be stifling innovation and we could be preventing ourselves from realizing all the amazing things AGI could do.
It's true.
But on the other hand, if we just rush ahead without thinking through the risks, we could end up with unintended consequences that are really, really difficult to undo.
It's such a tough call. It really feels like we're at this pivotal moment in history,
Yes.
and the decisions we make now are going to have huge consequences down the road. So let's take a step back from those heavy questions for a minute
Okay.
and explore how AI is already making a difference in a field that's captivated humans for, centuries.
Mm.
Space exploration.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It might surprise some people to learn that AI is actually playing this big role in our quest to understand the universe.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
So NASA, for example, they're using AI to analyze those massive amounts of data that are collected from telescopes and probes.
It's mind-boggling how much data they're dealing with.
It is. So
Yeah.
instead of having scientists painstakingly sifting through all of that data,
Yeah.
we now have these AI algorithms
Yeah.
that can spot patterns, anomalies, and maybe even signs of life beyond Earth.
You got it. And AI can actually analyze data way faster and more efficiently than humans ever could.
Wow.
And sometimes it can even pick up on these really subtle signals that we might just completely miss. Think about the Kepler mission. Remember that one? It discovered thousands of exoplanets, and AI played a key role in analyzing all that data from Kepler to identify them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder what other cosmic secrets are out there just waiting to be uncovered
They're
by
big
AI in the future.
Yeah. Who knows what's out there?
Speaking of uncovering secrets, let's bring things back down to Earth for a minute and talk about how AI is revolutionizing material science. I saw a presentation on this recently, and honestly, I was blown away by all the potential applications.
Material science is so ripe for disruption right now, and AI is right at the heart of it.
It really is.
Just imagine being able to design materials with specific properties before you even have to create them in a lab.
Wow.
Let's say you need a material that's super strong but also lightweight and can handle incredibly high heat.
Yeah.
AI can help you find exactly the right combination of elements and structures to make that happen.
It's like having a virtual alchemist concocting these materials with unbelievable properties. I remember reading about self-healing concrete in the AI Frontiers report.
Oh, yeah.
Is that really something that could be possible?
It really is. Researchers are working on concrete that can actually repair its own cracks.
Get out.
I know. It uses bacteria that produce calcium carbonate, and this could completely revolutionize construction.
Yeah.
Buildings and infrastructure would be so much more durable and sustainable.
This is incredible. I can't believe we've gone from this quantum realm to the vastness of space, and now we're talking about the building blocks of our world all in just this short amount of time.
Yeah, it's been quite a ride.
And the thing that connects it all is AI, this amazing technology that's touching so many different parts of our lives.
And we've only just scratched the surface here. So welcome back to our deep dive into AI. Before we move on, did you have any other thoughts on AI and material science? It's a field with just so much potential for, positive change.
You're right. It's exciting to imagine AI helping us create those more sustainable materials and reduce waste.
Yeah.
And even building structures that can adapt to the environment around them.
Yeah, exactly.
But speaking of positive change, let's talk about another area where AI is making huge waves. Healthcare.
Okay.
I have to admit, I'm a little apprehensive when I think about AI having a say in my medical care. It feels so personal and so human.
I totally get that. I understand where you're coming from. But I think it's important to remember that AI in healthcare isn't about replacing doctors or nurses. It's really about giving them more powerful tools so they can make better decisions and to provide more effective care. Think of it like an AI-powered microscope that can detect those really subtle signs of disease that might not be visible to the human eye.
Okay, that's actually a really helpful analogy.
Yeah.
So it's not about replacing expertise, it's about enhancing it.
Right.
So can you give me an example? Like, how is this actually playing out in real life?
Oh, absolutely. One area where AI is already having a huge impact is in medical imaging.
Yeah.
So AI algorithms can analyze, things like X-rays, CT scans, and MRIs to find those subtle patterns that a human radiologist might miss.
Wow.
For example, there are studies that show AI can be incredibly accurate in detecting those very early signs of cancer, sometimes even before it's visible to the human eye.
That is amazing. Early detection is key for so many diseases. That's pretty life-saving. But what about the human element in all of this?
Right.
Diagnosis isn't just about looking at an image. It's about understanding the patient, their history, their concerns, all of that.
You're absolutely right. And that's why the most promising applications of AI in healthcare involve close collaboration between humans and machines. AI can analyze data, it can identify patterns, and it can suggest potential diagnoses. But it's still up to the doctor to interpret that information. Consider the patient's individual circumstances and make the final call.
That makes me feel a lot better, to be honest. It's
Yes.
a partnership, not a replacement.
Exactly.
So what other areas of healthcare are being transformed by AI?
Well, AI is also having a big impact on drug discovery and development.
Okay.
Traditionally, this process has been notoriously slow and expensive.
Yeah, it takes forever.
I know. It can take years and billions of dollars to bring a new drug to market. But AI can really accelerate that process.
How so?
Well, AI can analyze these huge data sets of molecular information, identifying those promising drug candidates, and it can even predict how effective they might be.
So instead of relying on that trial and error process,
Yeah,
we can use AI to design drugs that are targeted at certain diseases.
exactly. It's like having a custom tailor for medicine,
Wow.
creating treatments that are specifically made for your needs. And this could lead to, this whole new era of personalized medicine where treatments are more effective and they have fewer side effects,
Yeah,
and they're even tailored to your specific genetic makeup.
that is so cool. But all of this makes me wonder about access and equity.
Hmm.
Will these AI-powered healthcare innovations be available to everyone, or will they only benefit the people who can afford it?
That is a crucial question, and it's one that we absolutely have to address head on. With any new technology, there's always that risk that it could widen the gap between the haves and have-nots.
Yeah.
But with AI and healthcare, I think there's also this incredible opportunity to actually make healthcare more accessible and affordable for everyone.
How so?
Well, for instance, AI-powered telemedicine platforms could help bring quality healthcare to those areas that are really remote. And AI-assisted diagnostics could help reduce the cost of healthcare overall.
It's like you said before, it's all about using AI for good and
Yeah.
making sure that everyone benefits from its potential.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about healthcare, but what about the other areas of our lives?
Hmm.
How is AI changing the way we work, the way we learn, the way we even interact with the world around us?
Well, let's start with the workplace. AI is already having this pretty big impact on how we work.
Yeah.
It's automating a lot of those routine tasks, and it's freeing up human workers to focus on more creative and strategic work.
I hear so much about AI replacing jobs, and honestly, it is a little concerning. But are there ways that AI can actually make our work lives better?
Oh, absolutely. Think of it this way. AI can take care of those tedious, repetitive tasks that can really drain our energy and creativity.
Yeah.
Things like scheduling appointments, answering those endless emails, and generating reports. Those things can be automated. Right.
And it allows us to focus on more meaningful work. Work that requires those uniquely human skills like problem solving, critical thinking, and collaboration.
So it's about shifting our focus from the tasks themselves to the outcomes.
Right.
Instead of getting bogged down in the tiny details, we can use AI to take care of those. And it frees up our time and energy for the more strategic and creative work.
Exactly. And this shift in focus can actually lead to some new job opportunities.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As AI becomes more integrated into the workplace, we're going to need people who can design, develop, implement, and manage those AI systems.
That makes sense.
And we're also going to need people who can work effectively alongside AI, understanding its capabilities and limitations, and ensuring that it's used ethically and in a way that actually benefits everyone.
So the key is being adaptable.
Yeah, I think so.
We need to be open to learning new skills,
Yeah.
embracing new technologies, and finding ways to collaborate with AI rather than being afraid of it. I couldn't agree more. And this actually brings us to another really important aspect of AI's impact: education. We need to make sure that future generations have the skills they need to thrive in this world that is increasingly powered by AI.
So it's not just about teaching kids how to code, it's about teaching them how to think critically and creatively,
Right.
solve problems, and work together in a world where AI is everywhere.
Exactly. We need to teach them how to be adaptable and how to be lifelong learners, how to work side by side with these intelligent machines. And we also need to make sure they have this strong sense of ethics and responsibility so they use AI for good and contribute to a future where technology helps everyone.
This has been such a fascinating conversation.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like we've only just begun to explore all of the implications of AI.
I know there's so much more to talk about.
But I'm also aware of the time.
Yeah.
And I know we need to wrap up this deep dive soon. So what are your final thoughts for today?
Well, I think the main takeaway here is that AI isn't some futuristic concept anymore. It's happening now, and it's changing our world in some really big ways.
It is.
The challenge and also the opportunity is to make sure we're using this powerful technology wisely, ethically, and for the good of all humankind.
I love that. Okay, so before we go, can you give us a little sneak peek at what we'll be exploring in the next part of our deep dive? So what's next on our AI adventure? You mentioned AI and creativity.
Yes. Get ready to be amazed. In our next deep dive, we're going to explore how AI is pushing the boundaries of creative expression. We'll be looking at AI composing music, writing poetry, and even creating these incredible works of visual art.
Wow, AI artists. That sounds like a fascinating conversation. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a minute to think about everything we've talked about today. We started with quantum AI and how it could speed up those breakthroughs. Then we talked about tools like Sora for video creation and the ethical questions that come along with them.
We also talked about the really big implications of AGI and how we need to move forward carefully to make sure it aligns with human values. And of course, we saw how AI is already changing things in fields like space exploration and material science, leading to those new discoveries and innovations.
It's been quite a journey. It feels like we've traveled from the tiny world of quantum mechanics to the vastness of space and back down to Earth.
It has been a lot to take in.
It has. But I hope our listeners are as excited as we are about all the possibilities AI is bringing to the table. This technology has the potential to solve some of humanity's biggest challenges, but it's up to us to guide its development and make sure it's used for good.
I think that's a really important point. As we keep exploring AI, it's crucial to approach it with both enthusiasm and a healthy dose of critical thinking. We need to be aware of the potential risks and challenges even as we celebrate all those incredible breakthroughs and advancements.
Absolutely. AI is a powerful tool, and like any tool, it can be used in positive or negative ways. It's really up to all of us to shape its future and make sure it's used to make the world a better place for everyone.
Exactly.
And to all of you listening, I want to encourage you to keep exploring this world of AI. Read articles, watch documentaries, have conversations, and ask questions. Stay informed. The more we understand about this technology, the better equipped we'll be to handle all of its complexities and to use it for good.
Well said. And remember, the future of AI isn't set in stone. It's a future that we're all creating together.
That's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions. And as always, thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.